I'd like to thank Dr. M.S. Harikumar, Assistant Professor, University of Kerala, for giving me this opportunity to speak. Am I audible? Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
So, are you able to see what I'm presenting right now?
Yes.
All right. So, the field of mass communication, it was actually earlier restricted to the print media, now has broadened its horizons. It is branched out into many new age jobs. So I'm going to talk about a lot of new age jobs along with some of the traditional jobs that are there. So this field of mass communication has never shied away from evolving and adapting to the newer requirements of the society and also its technological innovations. The media has stood the test of time in a very graceful manner by surviving many economic crises. What is very surprising is that the examples demonstrate that the media and communication sector, it emerges much stronger after such recessions by adapting to newer forms in its kitty. For example, your print media. Print media has for instance, it has found its way into the digital platforms. The mainstream television has drawn the OTT platforms towards itself. So as media and communication sector, you can clearly see it's growing rapidly. We find that media audience, they are faced with a multitude of options. You must have studied about media fragmentation. Today, audiences are faced with multitude of options. So you can see that it's growing. So there was a research survey which was conducted recently by Bazooka. They conducted this survey with 500 plus brand custodians. So these brand custodians were asked what were the prime objectives to use media in the year 2021. And 68% of respondents felt that the media amplifies better reach and engagement. So this particular finding is not something which is very new. We all know about it. But then it becomes significant because even in 2021, people still believe that media can amplify reach and better reach and engagement. I'm talking about the traditional media here, when traditional media is facing severe competition from the digital media. So this points to the fact that media and communication sector still occupies an indisputable influential position in the society. The COVID-19 pandemic, it has killed many traditional media jobs, but you need to understand at the same time, it has also created many new age jobs. So in my presentation today, I'm going to divide the presentation into three sections: the print media, broadcast media, and digital media. Right? So digital media is something which I would like to talk a lot, because this is a media which I would like to call it as an evolving media, because every day one can notice that newer forms of exciting and challenging jobs are emerging from this particular media, which is the digital media. Okay, so if you look at it, there is print media, then there is electronic media, the radio, television, films, and all that. Then you have digital media, right? And we have something called as Mojo, which is mobile journalism now. And you have advertising, you have corporate communication and public relations, you have marketing communication, right? So let's start with this print media, right? I'm not going to speak a lot about print media because we all know it's a traditional medium. We all know the kind of job prospects that are available with the print media. It is one of the oldest forms of media. And here the jobs can be actually divided into two categories. That is editorial and non-editorial jobs. So the editorial jobs that you see here are very crucial and sacrosanct. That it is too valuable. It cannot be interfered with. So in this editorial section, people can work in different capacities, right? They can work as reporters, they can work as editors, newspaper designers, cartoonists, photographers, and the interesting part here is one can also do freelancing in these jobs. If you look at it, the COVID situation especially has brought in this a lot of freelancing jobs. Today you can sit at home in your locality wherever you're staying, and you can report about events, and you can send it and then get published. If it gets published, you get paid for it. So a lot of freelancers are paid to each article they write, or if they edit, they can sit at home and edit, or they can click certain photographs, and if it gets accepted, they get paid. These are the editorial traditional jobs, and you can become a columnist. You can write columns, right? If you're very good at writing, and if you keep sending them articles, probably a newspaper organization must invite you or might commission you with certain articles, and you can write, and then you can get paid, right? That's the editorial jobs. And coming back to the non-editorial jobs that are available in the print media are like marketing, sales, and client servicing, those kinds of jobs. So we will come to this marketing, sales, and client servicing roles and what it entails in a short while. When I'm talking about digital media, I'll explain that. So these are basically the two kinds of jobs that are available in the print media: editorial jobs and non-editorial jobs. And then slowly moving on to the broadcast media, you have radio and television, right? You all know the FM radio scenario that is there today. It is growing at a faster pace. You have so many FM radio channels where there are different kind of job opportunities available. Especially in private FM radio, you have radio jockeys. Radio jockeys are people who talk on radio, right? And there are certain, if you are a person who possess a lively personality, then radio is the right kind of field for you. You should be someone who's very young at heart. You should be someone who loves talking to people, who believes in one's own performance, right? So a radio jockey is someone who's very original and who has his own style of talking, right? And he has to speak in a very normal language of the masses. Then you will never find an RJ, a radio jockey, putting in a lot of accent and speaking. He will be himself, right? Because the people would want him to speak in a very normal way. So if you're someone who's got a very nice personality in terms of your voice, so when I say personality, is inner personality, right? In terms of you should be someone who should get rid of your shyness, embarrassment, inhibition, and reserved nature, right? And if you can break your shell and make yourself open, you can work in any of the radio stations. And if you don't want to be the radio jockey, if you do not want to be someone who's actually speaking on radio, you can become a show or a promo producer. So there are two kinds of producers: show producers and promo producers on radio. Show producers are the ones who basically, they plan, monitor, and they make scripts for the show in line with the editorial guidelines and brand proposition of the radio station. So they basically have to identify, coordinate, invite celebrities, stars, guests, to the radio station, and see how you can, get them on, get them to do some shows on radio. So show producer is someone who generates ideas for special events, for specific days. They should generate ideas for contests. You must have heard certain contests on FM radio. So you'll have to think of some contests in collaboration with certain brands. Right? You have to script copies for commercials, for radio station promos, etc. And sometimes you'll be involved in conducting research for certain topics. Right? You may have to go and take interviews and give it to the RJs for them to play it the next day. So basically, it involves all these kinds of show producers. And the promo producers are the ones basically who will cut promos every day on a daily basis. There are two main shows on radio stations, two primetime shows. That is the breakfast show and the drive time show. So they will have to sit and work with the RJ of the breakfast show and also the RJ of the drive time show. So breakfast show is from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. in the morning, and the drive time show is 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the evening. So they'll have to sit with the RJs of these shows and plan for certain promos. They have to create promos. They have to write scripts for the promos, and they have to keep conducting content research and start collecting sound bites for shows. So these are producers and promo producers. And you have sound editors who will sit and edit whatever that has been recorded. They add effects, they add certain sound effects, and they make it very classy and jazzy. So that's the role of a sound editor. And the music manager, basically, he will have to regularly track, monitor, analyze the competing radio channels and understand their music trends, content, show format. And he should be someone who loves music, who has good knowledge of music, old music, the middle time, retro music, and new music. He will schedule all the music on a day-to-day basis. He'll have to ensure, select certain, he should be so knowledgeable with music that he should know which kind of music to play on which occasion. All that the music managers will do. And then you have something called as activations. I'm pointing it here, activation executives. These activation executives are the ones who basically, conduct events. They're basically event managers for the radio stations. So they will have to tie up with certain big malls, right? And promote this event and get their RJs into their malls and start conducting certain contests. They will be collaborating with several brands. So activation executives are people who manage events for the radio station. So these are some of the areas in which one can work in radio, especially after finishing your mass communication and journalism course, right? Yes. Then apart from that, you can also, the show producers and promo producers, forgot to tell you, they also write scripts for advertisements that comes out from the clients. They do that on a regular basis. Then I'm just slowly moving on to television now. Television, I'm going to start with television news first, and then I will be moving on to television entertainment, right? General entertainment television. First, let's start with news. News channels, Voyon, CNN, NDTV, Republic TV. There are so many news channels that are there. So there you can work as an assignment editor. Basically, an assignment editor is someone who sits and who gets to know about different events that is happening, different beats, different events happening in different beats, and he will have to assign that to the reporters, right? You can be an assignment editor. Basically, he plans for news events, and he also gives some input to the news input team, right? In the editorial section of television, you can work as news reporters. You know what the job of a reporter is. I don't have to tell you, right? You can be a news reporter, or you can be a news anchor. In some of the channels, the news anchor and the reporter, they will be the same person, especially after COVID, after this new term called multitasking has come into the sector of media. One person is expected to do multiple roles. So a reporter can also be an anchor and vice versa. Then there will be news visual coordinators. They will have to ensure that the visuals has to match the script that the reporter is giving out. And there will be a news research team. They will be constantly, going out and finding out, conducting research, planning, talking to people, and finding out news stories, right? News research team. And then you have news visual editors. You can be a visual editor if you are someone who's not very good at writing or speaking. Probably you can become a visual editor where you can edit the visuals, right? And there is a group of people which call us a scroll team. You must have seen tickers, scrolls going out on your television news screens. There's a particular group of people who sit and work on it. They have to ensure that they have good, they're very someone who's very, very keen and who's very smart and energetic and enthusiastic, who keeps putting in, scrolling all these breaking news out without any mistakes. So you can join the scroll team. Then you have a special team called as the digital team, even in your television news, which is like the digital team takes care of Instagram, Twitter, Facebook accounts of these channels and ensures there is some constant engagement with the audience. They will have to ensure that whatever they do has to be publicized and it has to become viral. Only then you'll have more number of viewers for your station. So these are the digital team. Basically, they create Instagram profiles, Twitter profiles, Facebook profiles, and they have to ensure that whatever goes out has to be verified, and they keep posting the news bites, promos, etc. of the news channels. And if they're coming up with something breaking news, and they can put it on Twitter even before they broadcast it, and it will become viral, and it will get a lot of viewers. So you can work in the digital team if you're very keen on handling the social media accounts. And apart from that, in news content, you have sub-editors or output team. Like basically, you will have to, the reporters send you the report, and then you have to edit it and cross-check, verify, that kind of a job sub-editors do. So if you have a keen sense for news, and if you're not someone who would want to actually go out, but then sit in one place and then but still interested in whatever is happening around you, you can get into the news content editor field. Apart from that, there is another category, it's a news production team, where you can work with the graphic elements that appears on the television screen. You can become a graphic designer, or you can become a camera person who covers all these, who will accompany, who will cover various events and can accompany the news reporters. Or you can join the graphic video representation team. These are all value additions in the news production team. Then let's move from news, let's move on to the television entertainment scenario. In television entertainment scenario today, there is a huge, there is a lot of opportunities that are available, right? You can actually work in two types. In non-editorial, it's called in television entertainment. You can either work for fiction or non-fiction. Fiction is very imaginary shows, right? And non-fiction, I know you hope you all know about the stars, the reality shows, the Big Boss shows, Indian Idol, Roadies, right? All those things are non-fiction shows or the reality shows. Whereas fiction shows are your soaps and serials, like that you get to watch on television. The serials, those are fiction. And here also in the television entertainment, you have show producers, you have promo producers. Show producers will be working on that particular show. They will be thinking and ideating, planning content for that particular show. They'll have to think of some kind of a collaboration with certain brands for the show. All that work will be of the show producer. Then you have promo producer, whose main duty is to ensure that capture the best that goes out in that particular show and make a short promo. Promo producer is a full-time job by itself, right? You will have to, after the show gets shot, after it is being produced, you go through it, you watch the entire show, and then you pick up the best aspects, the best elements of that particular show, and you create a small promo, and that is the role of a promo producer. And sometimes you can work as script writers. There are script writers for non-fiction and fiction also. You can become a script writer on television if you're very good at understanding audiences, and if you're someone who can feel the pulse of the audience, probably you can become a script writer. Then if you're not very keen in writing and speaking or appearing in front of the camera, then you can join the production team of the entertainment channel. You can become camera person, or you can be in charge of the studio as a flow manager who coordinates with the director, the creative director, and the creative producer and the show producer. And you can also become a technical engineer otherwise, right? If you're too good at the technical aspects of television, you can become a technical engineer. But I would like to tell you one thing here. After studying a course like media and communication, probably you will not be able to, get into technical engineering, because there are other courses which are called as BTech in media engineering. They would prefer those kind of students for this particular course. But still, if you show your technical expertise, you can still get in as a technical engineer. Then another kind of job is the rights acquisition team. For every music or every movie that is being played on television, they have to get, the television channel will have to get some rights, rights for playing that movies or songs. So the rights acquisition team is a very active team in any organization, in any television organization. And they basically liaise with all these companies, right? Music companies like T-Series, like Lahari Music, Sony Music, etc. And they will also have to liaise with the producers who hold the rights for certain movies. And they'll have to sign up MOUs with them. And that is also a very interesting job that you can opt for in television entertainment. Or you can become a video editor who edits, all these shows, the fiction and non-fiction, and you become a video editor if you're not very good at words, right? But a video editor should have a great visual sense, right? You should know visual editing softwares and should be someone who's very good at it. Then you can join any of the marketing team also, right? Marketing team, media and communication students will also be preferred for as marketers. That's digital marketers. I'll explain what digital marketing is about in a short while. But marketing executives also you can join, where you can market a particular show or the entire radio station or a TV station, right? Or you can join them as graphic designers or as quality checkers. Now there's a new role which is a quality check, especially media students are required for that. You will have to check if the particular show or if a particular serial is adhering to the rules and regulations set by the government, right? You have a major responsibility to checking the content. So quality checkers are there also these days internally, and they also get paid very well, okay, in television and TV. So apart from that, I would like to highlight on this particular aspect here, show producers. Show producers, basically, they will be responsible for creatively managing the shows and properties. They will have to go on ground for shoots. They will have to ensure smooth operation and production. They have to visit the production house for better understanding the shows. Sometimes they'll have to add a lot of creative inputs to the campaigns. They will have to coordinate with the production and the technical team for timely upload of episodes, right? And you need to understand that all these profiles will require you to have a basic understanding of the Broadcast Audience Research Council, BARC data. You should be someone who should be able to read BARC data, right? The research data that comes out from BARC. BARC is an independent agency which conducts ratings, for all these television channels. So you should be someone who understands BARC ratings, understand the fixed point chart. The fixed point chart is nothing but the chart that gets put up every month or 2 months about the kind of shows, and even in television as well as radio, fixed point charts are there, and they put up this list where people can understand which show goes on air, which time, that kind of. So you should be able to understand FTC, you should be able to understand and read BARC data, you should be in a position to analyze it, you should be in a position to do competition tracking between different channels. And a new set of jobs is like data analysts. They basically work with the data that is available, right? You should be able to work and understand and interpret the complex data and then put it into simple words. So data analyst is also a new kind of job that's very, very lucrative in television and radio. So let's move on to digital media now. It's very, very interesting and a very exciting and challenging space in media, right? Digital media is basically your websites, news websites, etc. There are so many opportunities here, right? As graphic designers, as digital content creators, as social media executives, you can become influencer marketers, you can become experience designers, or you can become data journalists. So I will just try to tell you what is basically required for becoming a graphic designer or a digital content creator, right? In a short while. So before that, I would also want to tell you about the next field, which is advertising, where you can become a copywriter, or you can become a client service executive, or an account manager. You can become a visualizer and designer. You can become a brand planner. You can become a media planner. Basically, what is the role of people, executives in advertising? You will be constantly and regularly interacting with clients, various clients, to understand their business objectives. You will have to request for client briefs, and you should be someone who will be able to understand the client briefs. Then you should be someone who should be able to understand the client brief, and also you should be able to convert it into execute it or convert it into actionable creative briefs for your creative team, right? And you'll have to be thinking of developing communication assets and strategies for your clients, right? And sometimes as a client service executive or an account manager, you will be a single point of contact between the internal creative team and also the client. So basically, you will, all these people who are working in advertising will have to oversee the development of creative assets. Earlier, all these jobs were very, very individual jobs, so individualistic. A copywriter will do something, a client executive will do something, and like that. But now everything is united, right? You'll all have to work in sync with each other. So you should be in a position to oversee the development of creative assets, and you should be able to manage, track, record, file, ensure or monitor the workflow and ensure that the quality standards are being met. Then if a client service executive is going for a meeting with a client, sometimes a copywriter will have to accompany him. Earlier, copywriters will never move out of the advertising agency, but you have today, a copywriter will have to go along with the client service executive to get the brief, to understand, and then they may have to sit there and work at times. Sometimes even the designers accompany them. So there is like a coordination should be there among all groups of people, right, in advertising. So basically, what are the skills required for this kind of jobs, right? You need to have a post-graduation in mass communication journalism. Definitely, yes. And you should have excellent written and oral communication. You have to have knowledge of MS Office, Excel, PowerPoint, Word, etc. Digital advertising. You should have a little bit of knowledge about data analytics and how it plays out in social media. More than anything, you have to be a very strong team player, and you should be a people's person capable of building strong professional relationships with people. And more than anything else, you should be a very genuine. You should have a genuine passion for advertising and branding. It is also very, very essential for you. So next, like I would also like to talk about one aspect where I've not included, that is corporate communication, right? In advertising, then public relations, corporate communication, all are almost in like, they are different in their own way, but they also have some common thread which connects all of them. So corporate communication is something which I've not included in this slide, but I'm just telling you right now. So corporate communication is basically about creating compelling content and also efficient handling of digital media. So now if you see, everything is so connected, digital media and all these things are very, very connected, advertising. So in corporate communication, basically you copyright, you develop content for internal communication projects, for corporate collaterals and social media. Then you'll draft content for media, and you'll write press releases, you write drafts for stories, you create internal and external newsletters. That would be your job when you're opting for corporate communication content team. In corporate communication, you also have a digital media team where basically you work with managing with the digital media platforms, internal and external platforms. You start liaising for planning and scheduling of social media posts. These companies will have certain ideas. And you can see the social media executives, which are mentioned here. Basically, they have to liaise, plan, and schedule, right? All posts will not work at all times. Certain posts, the timing matters a lot. So that planning and scheduling of social media posts, planning for digital advertisements and promotions, all these things will be part of the digital media, apart from promoting the corporate brand online. A large chunk of time they will have to use the social media executives, especially they will have to use to monitor the social media posts and what comments are people commenting on it, etc. So they have to collaborate with the other agencies, and they have to manage PR events. Sometimes they will also have a corporate communication executive will also have to develop films, maybe jingles or slideshows for various projects, for internal presentations. Then you'll have to collaborate with internal clients or production houses. Sometimes they will outsource it to a production house. So at that time, they will have to coordinate with them from concept to completion. So basically, if you look at it, all kinds of media, they require you to have good content creation, good language, good writing skills, right? You should have excellent communication skills. And if you do not have that right now, it is time for you to do that. You have to keep reading a lot. Even if you're not good at speaking, please ensure that your writing skills are very good. Ensure that you write very clearly and concisely without any grammatical errors, etc. Well, you can do that only by reading a lot, right? And if you have that good communication skills, oral and written, you will be absorbed, and you will not just be absorbed, but you'll get a good salary as well. Then you should also be aware of, you should have a basic knowledge about Corel Draw, Illustrator, Photoshop. These are some of the basic softwares that they teach you at the MA level. You're supposed to be knowing that. Then apart from that, I have mentioned something called as influencer marketers. These are called as brand strategy marketers also. Sometimes You must have seen on Instagram, etc. They promote certain products for which they get paid for every post that they put, and based on the number of followers, they get not just the number of followers, but based on the number of time that they spend watching these posts, they get paid. So there is another interesting job in the digital media, which is called the brand strategy manager. So the brand strategy manager is basically responsible for managing brand pages across different social networks for the clients. They will have to develop fresh content. They have to come up with new ideas to help brands to achieve their digital media objectives. They should be having the ability to create, to visualize creative ideas. They have to write content which is very persuasive. If you write something, you should be able to persuade the people. You have to attract the people for it. You should have strong research skills. You should have some amount of editorial capability also, which I'm sure after finishing your media, MA Media and Communication course or MA Mass Communication course, you will be equipped with. You will be equipped with that editorial capability. What can be projected, what should not be projected, how it has to be projected, or what has to be ignored. Those kinds of strategies. I'm sure you will master that while you're studying this course itself. Then apart from that, you should know something called web etiquette, right? Web etiquette is nothing but what to talk, what to post, what not to post, right? How will you deliver the right kind of messages online, and not just putting the right kind of messages, but that should also stimulate some kind of discussion among them. Then only your post is going to go viral. So a junior manager or a brand strategy manager will have to think of this. He should be proficient in the basic MS Office, Excel, PowerPoint. He should have excellent communication skills, etc. Then apart from that, he should keep up to date with the campaigns and trends in the digital advertising world. They have to any of these executives who are working in the digital media will probably have to manage multiple accounts on social media on a day-to-day basis across different platforms and portfolios, right? They should be able to manage day-to-day operations associated with campaigns and projects. They should be able to interact with clients for briefs and work on ideas. They will have to work with a group of people. You should be someone who's a team player, right? In all these new age jobs, one thing I would like to tell you, these are not jobs which can be worked at an individual capacity, but you'll have to work with a team. See, here when I say I've mentioned all these things: digital designers, content creators, social media executives, influencer marketers, experience designers, and data journalists. But if you look at it, all of it is actually connected to one another. So you cannot work individually. You have to work. A digital content creator, if he works individually, his work won't be that great. But he works in liaison with graphic designers and social media executives, his work will be much better. So you should be a team player in all these new age jobs. You should be able to maintain and nurture the client relationships. You should be someone who should be able to talk to the clients and maintain and nurture that relationship. And you should be able to collaborate with your managers, senior managers, internal teams, strategic planners, to understand brief and create presentations. So this is regarding the social media executives. And apart from that, there should be something called as you will have to generate weekly reports. You'll have to know a little bit of billing and invoices, which you will learn while on the job, right? When you start working, you will be able to understand that. And you should also be in a position to maintain weekly, monthly, quarterly reports of analytics, right? There's Google Analytics, which you should be aware of, and you should know how, the kind of visibility, the brand salience, and the brand visibility that the client gets. And you should give the clients the reports, not just based on these reports based on numbers, but you should also be able to explain to him in a very interpretative manner, you should be in a position to break down the complex data into simple data so that they're able to understand what you're trying to say. So I'm going to talk about another interesting job here, which is experience designers. This is again a very, very new kind of a job that has emerged, especially after the pandemic. You find a lot of IT companies now, they pay really well. And these IT companies hire experienced designers. So experienced designers are ones basically picked up from media and communication only, and no other stream gets this advantage, because basically it is just like a group of people, these are experienced designers. They all come together to solve big problems they basically have to create future experiences. They have to give ideas, right? Experience designers are basically, they are enthusiastic people. They get who gets delighted in connecting and collaborating with other people, and then deliver. They are curious thinkers, right? They will adopt different methodologies. They call us uh, agile workers. They have to weave stories. They have to passionately develop stories to showcase their designs, and they should be in a position to convince the clients based on the stories. So that is something which is a very new age job that is coming. And for this, mass communication post graduation is required. You should have great storytelling abilities. That's all is required for this kind of a job. Then, if you had an internship working as an experienced designer or working under an experienced designer, that will be an added advantage. And of course, they should be able to develop solutions to problems to various stakeholders. They should be able to present their ideas in a very clear manner, with clarity and with passion. And they should be in a position to listen to people. That is most important now. Today's youngsters, that's the biggest problem. They do not want to listen. I really don't know how many of you are actually paying attention to what I'm talking right now. You are online, I know that, but how many of you are listening to me? Probably you're just hearing and checking your mobile phones, or doing something else. You never know, but that is something which is required for this particular job, where you need good listening skills, right? You should be a good listener. Even for radio or television, or working in OTT platforms like Netflix, Amazon, you can become producers there also. You should be someone who listens to people, who observes people. Everything is out there. Apart from the knowledge that you get from your finishing your degree, there is a lot of things that you will have to do outside, right? You'll have to constantly observe people, what they're doing. Even you'll have to go to a fish market and see how they sell fish, how they get their clients, right? How they negotiate, how they talk, their accent, their body language. These are the things that you need to pick up if you have to become good communicators, because you're using these real-time experiences and you're converting them into television shows, OTT shows, whatnot. So basically, you should have a keen eye for observation. You should be someone who listens to people, right? You should, the newer generation is losing the tendency to listen, because they're more used to using these individualized gadgets like your mobile phones, that they just are not comfortable in having an eye-to-eye conversation with friends, right? Probably you should get out of your mobile zone, and probably you'll have to meet real people and see how they communicate, how they talk, their accent, their wishes, their likes, their passions. All that you need to collect, and that is going to be a rich data that you have to store in your data storage systems, and then you can use it for your radio shows or television shows or your OTT shows, right? When you bring these real-time experiences to those shows, people will love it, and you can become great communicators. You can be very successful in OTT platforms or digital platforms or television or radio, if you're able to give people the real experiences, the real-time experience. So this is something which I'm insisting that you all should pay attention to. So you should be someone right, who can, as an experienced designer, you should be someone who should be able to present your ideas with clarity and passion, and you should be able to receive feedback with open-mindedness. Right? You should be able to work with different brands, and different brands will have different brand guidelines. You'll have to follow those guidelines, and you'll have to create certain layouts and reinforce a brand style through its visual touch points. Right? So excellent communication is required for this position as well. Then I explained advertisers, copywriting, all of these things. Then you can also become freelancers. Today you can sit at your home, and I know, like today, many of my students are having online classes. Especially we are in a containment zone right now, for the next 2 to 3 weeks. But still, a lot of our students are actually working from home. They do photography. They become social media executives. You have a lot of freelancing opportunities which never used to be there before, right? Just that you should slowly start getting into it. You should probably have a portfolio for yourself. You have to create a blog for yourself, or you can create your own audio pieces, visual pieces, stories. You can upload it on YouTube, and you can send that link when you're actually approaching for jobs, and that itself will give you good jobs, right? Good exposure and good jobs. So you can start your own podcast. Today, Spotify is there. I don't know how many of you listen to it. You have some great content on podcasts. If you are very good at speaking, and if you do not want to work in visuals, you can get into podcasting. You can get into freelance writing. You can also become content executives for Netflix, Amazon Prime, etc., where you give them ideas and you get paid for it. So there is a new kind of jobs. Freelancers are getting so much of importance, especially after COVID. Even if you're not going there and working, you can sit at your own homes, and if you have a laptop and a mobile and a decent internet connection, you can sit and work at home itself and make good amount of money. So these are some of the areas that you can look at in media and communication, right? Of course, about technical writers, Vijay Kumar sir did make a mention, and I'm not going to deal with that right now, because you can also become a technical writer for many of these IT companies, where you convert the complex technical information into simple language that the layman can understand at that kind of job. And there's another job, right, with all these OTT platforms, Netflix and Amazon, which is hiring people for as subtitlers. Your basic job is to go and, if you know a particular language, so say for example a Malayalam movie, you have to create subtitles for Malayalam movie. You sit there and convert Malayalam dialogues into English. You create subtitles for that film. So that is also a new kind of opportunity. And of course, I understand that big companies like Disney, Hotstar, Netflix, and Amazon Prime pay really well for good subtitlers. That is also a new age job that we can talk about. So I'm going to wind up my talk right now. And if you have any questions,